everybody, and welcome to Blue Jays Today, folks, where we are on the eve of potentially the biggest roller coaster that Toronto Blue Jays fans have ever been on in free agency. We saw some wild stuff go down yesterday, guys. I mean, just false reports across the board. We were tracking somebody's plane. It was apparently a Dragon's Den plane. We were doing that live on stream. We had 4,000 people with us tracking a plane, and it wasn't even Shohei Ohtani's plane, guys. It was just absolute madness. So really in this video, I want to break down what happened yesterday because there was so much stuff. And then I want to answer the question as to what is next, right? What is next for Toronto Blue Jays fans? Because, I mean, if any of you guys are feeling like I'm feeling right now, we were on this crazy high of, like Shohei Ohtani, he's coming to the Toronto Blue Jays, like it's happening. And now it's like, what's next, So I really want to get into that and dive into what this means for the Toronto Blue Jays offseason as a whole. Before we do, please make sure to like, subscribe, comment your thoughts down below, and also a massive shout out to everybody for making yesterday just literally the best live stream that we've ever had in this channel's history. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Even though it was bad news, it was still legendary for the channel, guys. So let's start with the main culprit. Might I say, John Morosi. John Morosi came out yesterday, and he tweeted out sources. Shohei Ohtani is en route to Toronto today, and that sparked so many things, right? That sparked so many things across the MLB. I mean, even MLB themselves tweeted this out. They took what John Morosi said, and they tweeted it out themselves on their own accounts, right? So everybody was buying in to what John Morosi was saying, but it didn't just come out of thin air, right? He didn't just start this off and like this is what kicked off the whole rumors, because yesterday, as I was kind of aptly naming it, was a bit of a shitstorm. It was a bit of a shitstorm with rumors, guys. I mean, we had people literally talking about their dinner reservations at this sushi place. Like apparently Kikuchi was booking this big reservation for 50 people at this sushi place. I don't know how that rumor got started, but apparently that must have been a lie as well, right? So there was just so much stuff going on. And you even had Dodgers people come out and say that Shohei Ohtani's choice is in. JP Hornstra, somebody who is typically very trusted. I mean, so is John Morosi, but JP Hornstra, typically very trusted. He came out and said this, came out with a whole article on Dodgers Nation, and it was saying that he's going to Toronto. It was saying that Shohei Ohtani had in fact picked the Toronto Blue Jays, right? And this is from a Dodgers account, guys. This is not from us, because we're biased. We're obviously Toronto Blue Jays fans. We want him to pick the Toronto Blue Jays. But this is coming from a Dodgers account who you would imagine should want him to go to the LA Dodgers. So if they're putting stuff like this out, you gotta think that, yeah, there is some type of legitimacy to it, right? They must know something that we don't know, because why else would they be putting it out? So you had John Morosi come out, you had these guys come out, you had dinner reservations being stalked, you had us on a flight tracker. We were on a flight tracker for 5 hours, everybody. Literally, from the moment that plane took off to the moment it landed in Toronto, we were tracking that flight because Reddit and these conspiracy theories said that apparently that was Shohei Ohtani's plane, right? They did the detective work and they found out that was Shohei Ohtani's plane. Obviously, couldn't have been further from the truth, right? And it was just, again, one big, massive shitstorm. And it all kind of came to a head when Bob Nightingale tweeted this out right here, saying Shohei Ohtani is not in Toronto. Ohtani is not on a flight to Toronto. Ohtani is at home in Southern California. And when this first came out, it was met by a lot of disbelief. We'd seen so many things up until that point pointing to Shohei Ohtani coming to Toronto, right? How could it possibly be false if the MLB themselves are tweeting it out? But, and Bob Nightingale too. Bob Nightingale too does not necessarily have the greatest track record ever. However, then it started to get picked up, right? You got Ben Nicholson-Smith coming out and saying that he had heard the same thing as Bob Nightingale, that Shohei Ohtani is not in Toronto or on his way to Toronto at this time and is at his home in SoCal. So you had more people jumping on this train, and this is going to be a theme throughout this entire video, this entire kind of breakdown, but nobody knows anything about anything, right? Because when Jon Morosi was coming out and saying his stuff, when he was coming out and saying that he is en route to Toronto, there was a bunch of people who were coming out and who were reposting it and who were tweeting things that had a lot of Toronto Blue Jays bias involved. You know, like they were leaning towards the Toronto Blue Jays side of things. Even if they didn't come out and say outright that yes, Shohei Ohtani has decided Toronto, they were leaning in that direction. I mean, even Hazel May literally reposted Jon Morosi's thing, and then she also reposted Bob Nightingale's thing. So she was just along for the ride, kind of following what everybody was doing. And I hope that this really paints the picture that all of these so-called analysts, they have no idea. They really have no idea, guys. I mean, sometimes they get some stuff right, and sometimes they got some sources, but a lot of the times, they are just firing stuff against the wall, hoping that it sticks, and this time, it really didn't stick. Now, you had Shai Deidi come out afterwards, and this was met by a lot of scrutiny. He came out with an entire article, and in this article, I'm not going to go into the entire article, guys, but in this article, he kind of blames fans. He kind of blames fans for jumping to the conclusion that Shohei Ohtani is in fact coming to Toronto and that he is on this plane. And the fact that you would at all put any onus on the fans at all, that's just disrespectful for me, man. Like, that's genuinely just disrespectful. We have a trusted MLB source, somebody who we are supposed to believe, somebody who is a professional at this, coming out and telling us that he's on his way to Toronto, in his words, en route to Toronto today, and you are blaming the fans for jumping to conclusions? Not cool. Not cool, dude. To me, I would put that back on you guys, and I would say do a better job, right? Do a better job at providing us proper sources, because if we're not supposed to trust Jon Morosi, are we supposed to trust you? How do I know that I can trust you, Shai Deidi, right? I just think that this was totally poor taste, not at all where the narrative needs to go. So I know a lot of fans are really pissed off about that, myself included. Jumping back to Jon Morosi, to kind of wrap all of what happened up, before we get to what's next, this is what happened. He finished off yesterday by coming out and issuing an apology, and he said, "Today, I posted reporting that including inaccurate information that Shohei Ohtani was traveling to Toronto. I regret the mistake and apologize to baseball fans everywhere. I am deeply sorry for letting you down." And I appreciate that, and I think a lot of Blue Jays fans and just MLB fans in general, we appreciate hearing the apology, right? It's good to take accountability, and I'm glad that he did that. And in that regard, okay, great, apology accepted. I do believe that everybody makes mistakes, and it can happen. It can happen to anybody. However, this specific mistake, it's very clear that you were just trying to jump the gun. You were trying to be the first one on the news. You were trying to get the credit, and I understand this is the biggest MLB free agent in history, right? So if you're the guy to break the news, you will always be known as the guy who broke the news of the biggest MLB free agent in history. However, now you're going to be known as the guy who had tens of thousands of people following along with a plane that had a dragon den in them. Not a good look, dude. Not a good look. And even though you did come out and you apologized, and I accept that apology, credibility, it's kind of gone. It is kind of gone, folks. So that's what happened yesterday. And it was just, again, one massive shitstorm. And it really begs the question as to what's next? Whoa, time for your daily Betway breather. A quick reminder that the best place to bet is on Betway. Must be 19 years of age or older to play. In collaboration with iGaming Ontario, please bet responsibly. Now, back to the content. So looking ahead at the Toronto Blue Jays offseason and just this scenario as a whole, basically we are where we were 48 hours ago. We are still a finalist. We're still being considered for Shohei Ohtani. But all this stuff about him coming to Toronto, that's just not true. And I really wish that I could give you guys a deadline, but the fact of the matter is I can't, because apparently he was supposed to make his decision by the end of this weekend. But look at who reported that. Look at who reported that, everybody. John Morosi said that he was supposed to make his decision by the end of the weekend, and we have to take that with a grain of salt now. It's sad, but we have to, because you lost all credibility, especially where this particular free agent is concerned. So the fact of the matter is, we have no idea when he's going to sign. We have no idea who he's going to sign with. The only person who knows anything about anything, really, is that man right there. That's the only guy. Shohei Ohtani's the only dude who knows what it is that he is going to do and when he's going to do it. So it kind of leaves Toronto Blue Jays fans and just MLB fans as a whole in the dark right now, because yes, we're still considered a finalist, but there's no deadline, there's no due date. We don't know when this roller coaster is going to end. So I think moving forward, as much as we need to be tracking this story and following along with the Shohei Ohtani watch, and do not worry, guys, we are going to be going live on this channel probably more times following along with this story. I would tell everybody to maybe step back just a little bit. Step back just a little bit. And honestly, today, take the time away from Twitter, guys. I mean, fuck, I think we have earned a little break from social media, folks. After yesterday, I don't know if I ever want to go on that app again, but just take a breath, step back a little bit. We don't know, and I think we're just going to need to be patient. So hopefully the Toronto Blue Jays, they have plans in the works if this guy doesn't come. I mean, they are looking at other free agents, and I would not be surprised in the slightest if they come out in the next few days and if they sign a few smaller pieces. Because the offseason, it is progressing, and you definitely do need to be building up your ball club as much as you also need to be going after Shohei Ohtani. So look for the Toronto Blue Jays to potentially go out and make some smaller trades, some smaller signings. And as far as Shohei Ohtani is concerned, just wait and see, guys, because we are all in the same boat together, even the so-called big-time MLB analysts. But, folks, let me know what you think about all this in the comments down below. Thank you so much for everybody for watching and for tuning in to one historic live stream yesterday, guys. Blue Jays today stays up, everybody. And as always, go Jays, go!